Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome to some Beastmen. I did want to play a non-traditional faction as well, and I'm not really that fond of chaos in and of themselves. Chaos is not that fun. Beastmen are fun. The other option was, of course, the Wood Elves, but, well, waiting 20-odd turns to make one fucking stack? Yeah, maybe not. I imagine that would not be the most thrilling of things to view. Right, what do we start out with? We've got Malagor, our legendary lord, because his starting position is the shittiest, so I figured that'd be amusing. And Goros Heartrender. Name. Goroi? No. Perfect. There we go. That's rather appropriate. If you get the reference, then you'll understand. You will understand. What do we want to do? Probably head south first. There's an orc settlement down here, I'm pretty sure. I mean, heading north now, there's... Well, this area's got like 3 settlements, but one of them's fortified. Don't want to fuck with that. I think we'll head into the mountains, maybe? Yeah, the Misty Mountains. Kind of go down here to, what, Death Gorge? Then sweep on up? Yeah. I could head this way as well, but... Well, I would necessitate actually crossing the sea at some point and into Talea, which... meh. Let's see. We probably want a den. And we'll make this one the Gore recruiting army. And as for research... Leadership, well, there's not a lot of humans down here. Vitriolic temper, experience is always good. True horns. Melee attack for lords and heroes, not bad. Missile damage. Ooh. Income from raiding, 20% all forces. Ooh, yes. We'll go for that one first, because money. Unsurprisingly, raiding is kind of important for the Beastmen. Unsurprisingly. Alright, that actually reveals some of the map. We've got some orcs over here. I don't want to attack anything fortified right away. I really want Poison Warhounds. Warhounds are the best fucking units, I swear to God. Alright, let's start out with, we're gonna want some raiders. I mean, these are mostly savage orcs, so they're gonna die like crazy to archers. So we want some of those. Oh, and do be forewarned, by the way. There's nowhere near as much waiting in the Beastmen campaign as there is in the Wood Elves one, but it's still a horde, so, there will be a fair bit of waiting around just to build armies, etc. I think we'll begin moving north? North? No, south. South, obviously. Towards Agrul Migdal. Yes, we'll be heading for that. Probably we'll set up a secret camp next turn. Maybe this will turn around. It might actually reach me. No, it won't. That's on March stand. It can't possibly reach me. But yes, there will be some waiting around, and in that time I will probably fill it with random aimless ranting, so... If you're triggered by politics, for example, this probably isn't going to be the series for you. In fact, I figured I'd do like this as a slight experiment. In the Beastmen one, I'll just rant about random shit, including politics, while in the Vampire one, I'll try and keep that mostly clear of that stuff. And, see how it goes. Do I want another Ungol Raider? I kind of want another Ungol Raider, but I also need some melee. Nah, Raider. But today, we'll start with something a little bit less controversial. we'll start with the movie. Because there has been a movie lately that I really liked. The new Godzilla. Now, a fair few of you probably already knows what Godzilla is. There's, oh, hello, Gorble. I'll take a Gorble. Godzilla, as many of you know, is the famous kaiju monster of Japan. The great, big, nasty thing that wanders through Japanese cities, stomping on houses and stuff. He's got a pretty goddamn long history at this point, doesn't he? He's been around for, a while, to put it bluntly. Orcs. I think I'll demonstrate the whole Ungor thing right now, shall I? I do apologize if my voice sounds a little bit hoarse today, by the way. Again, the climates of goddamn Norway. We're bouncing back and forth between like 20, 30 degrees plus and like 5 to 10 minus these days, and it's fucking murdering me. But yes, Godzilla has, of course, a long tradition in Japan. He's been around for a very long time over there. Put some sneaky ones over there, sneaky dogs enforced. He's got a bit of a history over here in the West as well, mostly Americans. There was the first American Godzilla, which at this point is just known as, well, Zilla. He's kinda, at least partially been rolled into the proper history of Godzilla, but, not one of the prouder moments of the big old kaiju, I gotta say. Zilla was not a very good Godzilla movie. At all, really. In fact, I think I'll be siding with the Waponese on this and pretty much just say that it wasn't really a Godzilla movie at all. The second one, the Fat Godzilla, was much better. I actually kind of liked Fat Godzilla. Yeah, I didn't particularly care for his redesign as a fat guy for some mysterious reason. I don't know what was entirely up with that, but the movie itself was decent, you know. It did suffer pretty much from the same thing that all the American Godzilla movies did suffer from, however. The fact that they weren't really Godzilla movies, they were more... They had the same nonsense thing that Michael Bay's Transformer has, in that it's not really about the Transformers, because, you know, who would want to go see a movie about giant robots beating the shit out of each other with laser weapons and power swords? That sounds almost boring, you know? Rather, let's just have a bunch of drama where Shia LaBeouf and an inexplicably large amount of hot women find him absolutely adorable and desperately want to bang his little ass. Now, if anything's sci-fi in those movies, it's definitely fucking that. But yeah, Fat Godzilla had much the same problem. It was more a movie about the boring little humans than it was about the actual awesome stuff, you know? The massive fuck-off kaiju. Seems an odd thing to focus on, in my opinion, but there you go. That's one unit of Savage Orcs already murdered by just sheer missile fire, which is pretty good. Well, we'll sneak the others around. Ow, 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 ow. Archers. Dangerous. Kill. And we'll get the doggies around the other side. As we prepare to surround the shit out of this, we'll throw the doggies into the rear of that. That should be nice. But it really is in the Japanese kaiju movies that Godzilla really is Godzilla. I mean, no doubt. Like I said, Fat Godzilla wasn't that bad. I kind of enjoyed Fat Godzilla. you know, whenever it gave us a 5-minute break from the boring-ass fucking humans, anyways, it wasn't a bad Godzilla movie. Even though it still, you know, struggled with actually being a Godzilla movie, but hey. Wow, they broke down quickly. Well, they are savage orcs. I guess they don't have the best morale. But the new Japanese Godzilla. Yeah, I believe the Western title was Godzilla Resurgent, or Resurgency, or some such nonsense. But the Japanese title is by far the most fitting. It is simply called Shin Godzilla, True Godzilla. By the way, a fun little note that a lot of people don't realize. The Japanese don't call him Godzilla. That is a Western thing. The Japanese call him Gojira. Gojira. Japanese. I don't know which one I prefer. Probably Godzilla, honestly, because it sounds a little bit more powerful, you know? He's Godzilla, not just Gojira. But either one certainly works. I don't know if it's received a translation yet. I don't think it has. The Japanese tend to be a little bit racist, I guess. I'm only half joking too. The Japanese dove have just a tiny bit of a problem with xenophobia in their little country, and they're not particularly fond of Westerners when it comes to marketing stuff. They're pretty much entirely convinced that we're all thieving pirates and shit, and I'm not even kidding when I say that. They are... Most Japanese companies are quite convinced that us dirty foreigners are stealing all of their shit. We've got quite a reputation for just, well, piracy, basically. And I can't say that the reputation is entirely unfounded. I mean, piracy is certainly a thing over here in the West. That's hard to deny. Though perhaps not to the degree that the Japanese would think, perhaps. And that. It will probably eventually get Western subtitles. Probably. There's no guarantee of that, but probably. Would be nice though, because it is a really good movie. But anyways, what actually makes it good? Because I watched the Japanese version, as I know just about enough of Japanese to make sense of it. Do you want to fight this? No. Because... Oh, damn it. I was hoping maybe he'd be stuck after moving, but he could move again anyway, so that's a little bit annoying. I should have taken the fight, actually. That would have been good. But yeah, it's a very, very, very Japanese take on Godzilla. And it's a very much so a back to the roots take on Godzilla as well. Godzilla used to be a monster. You know? He's turned into far more of a, what should I say? Almost a hero character in recent history. He's become kind of the good guy, you know, saving Earth from all manners of big beasties like Buolante and Giga, whatever the fuck. What? God damn it, what was the name of the big one? The three-headed dragon. God damn it, I don't know now. King Ghidorah. King Ghidorah. Yes, that was it. That was it. That was the big guy. Why, huh. I expected them to lose half their army with resettling, but I guess the AI doesn't have to do that. Let's see. Next up, experience would be nice. Now, casualty replenishment would also be nice. Well, we get experience first, I think. Alright. Well, they have managed to get themselves stuck in a corner now, though, which is nice, because we'll just now move up. And we'll fucking murder them. We'll do it manually, because that way I can reduce my casualty. But to return to the point, ever so briefly, he had become very much so kind of the good guy, hasn't he? You know, he'd been the savior character. I mean, hell, even when they made him just outright evil, people would still kind of cheer for Godzilla, because, you know, he was Godzilla. He was the king of monsters and all that, you know? He was the main character, so of course you'd cheer for him, you know? Main character, you cheer for main character. Not exactly a difficult nor particularly unknown concept. But he didn't start out that way. He started out very much so as kind of a classic movie monster, more so. He started out as more like a representation of nuclear destruction, really. He started out as just a full-on inhuman, destructive monster. He wasn't supposed to have any humanity, he wasn't supposed to have any really character even. He wasn't supposed to be recognizable or anything like that. He was just supposed to be an inhuman monster. In fact, that was the entire point of him. He was supposed to represent nuclear destruction, unfeeling, unhuman mass annihilation. He was supposed to represent the evil, really, of the act of using nuclear weapons. Which, well, granted, I'd still honestly argue that dropping the nuclear bomb on Japan wasn't so much as an act of evil as an act of mercy, considering the alternatives, but I can certainly see how the people who got the bomb dropped on them might think that it was a bit of a dickish move. I can definitely see that. Alright, are they going to charge me with the piggies? Probably are. Well, aren't you just an aggressive little lot? I was hoping I'd be able to shoot you up for a little bit, but, I guess that's not an option here, huh? Alright, we'll send two of them over there, send you in there. Get you in there. And just... boom! Nice big explosion of nonsense right there. Goody, good, good. Wipe those out. Smack that about. And they're running. Nice. But this new Godzilla, he's not a hero. He's not even human in any way, shape, or form. He doesn't have any of that humanity that many of the previous ones really did have. They have completely stripped that out of him. He's now just a monster again. He's just simply a horrible, unknowable monster. That's all he is. And that really fits him. I really love the new Godzilla. Just entirely because of that. Due to the simple fact that he's no longer anything but Godzilla, you know? He's not putting on any airs, shall we say. There's no pretense with the new Godzilla. There's no angle here where Godzilla could possibly be seen as the savior, as the good guy, as the hero. He's just a pure force of destruction. And they don't even explain his motives. He doesn't have any motives. And I kind of like that, because usually I'd like for a movie to explain to me, you know, what's going on, why this thing is happening. But in this case, I found it really refreshing, honestly, that Godzilla didn't have any motives for, you know, destroying a city. He didn't care. He was just he was just a monster. And he looks scary. I'm usually not particularly fond of redesigns of famous established characters, because they're usually bad, but this one is absolutely top-notch, even from his earliest stages, where you're first introduced to Godzilla, you don't even know it's Godzilla. You know, I thought it was his movie enemy that we first saw. I thought the first appearance of Godzilla was the movie monster of the movie. You know, the bad guy monster, the one that Godzilla would fight against and triumph and save whatever the fuck, you know. But he wasn't, and that was really good too, because it actually surprised me, which is rare in a movie. So I can usually read the script on those things in a pretty goddamn long distance, but this time it was actually a twist. And the best part was kind of the revelation, because they revealed that this was Godzilla in a very subtle way. They simply, I'm not going to do any real spoilers, but the thing that I thought was the movie monster simply just kind of stood up. It stood up on its back legs, and I suddenly was like, fuck, that's Godzilla. Wow. I didn't see that one coming. That was really good. That was really, really good. And also the way they did the actors. Now, one backside of the movie is that the acting is hammy. Very, very hammy. And Woody has fucking cases, but parts of that was almost certainly also very much so the plan. I think parts of that Woody acting was supposed to be shitty acting. Because you get to see a lot of the movie from the perspective of a bunch of bureaucrats, basically, trying to deal with the fact that Godzilla is rampaging through a city, which, you know, it's not something you have a manual for. Nowhere in the Japanese government manual is there a page dedicated entirely to the defeat of a random kaiju that starts rampaging through fucking Tokyo. It's simply not in the manual. And so a lot of the movie is dedicated to the struggle of these officials trying desperately to figure out what the fuck to actually do. And that confusion really helps the monster atmosphere. It's really subtle, but the human parts of this Godzilla movie isn't really about the humans in the same way that, you know, it is about the humans in the American movies. In this case, it's all about Godzilla. Kill them. It's all about Godzilla because even the human parts are all about how to defeat Godzilla, and all about talking about how dangerous Godzilla is, and it's like how he's a monster, blah blah blah. There's no fucking romance stories. There's no random fucking kissy huggy backstories. There's none of that. Absolutely none. It's all about fucking Godzilla being fucking Godzilla. It's really refreshing. Fantastic movie. If you know enough Japanese to get by, and it's not particularly complicated Japanese for the most part. Occasionally, when they start going into some of the government nonsense, it gets a bit complicated, but I didn't have too much problems, and I'm definitely not fluid in good old Japanese. So if you know the basics, you should probably be able to get through it. One issue I did have, a rather large one that always really fucking triggers me in movies like this. Do I have chance characters? Yeah, why not? Is there's a character that's supposed to be a Japanese American. That's the representative of the United States, because in all Japanese movies, the United States has to be in there somewhere, and they have to be the bad guys. I swear to God. They're usually not outright evil, it's just they always have an agenda, you know, they always kind of want to screw Japan over in some way or another. They pretty much never just do things out of the goodness of their hearts. They're, you know how in American movies, the Russian is usually the bad guy. Well, it's kind of the same for Japanese movies, except the American is usually the bad guy. It's an odd little thing there. But anyway, she's supposed to be American-born, yeah? And that's why she speaks American randomly, to just tell you, like, oh, I'm so American, you know? And then slowly but surely she turns Japanese, because she gets purged of the evil influence of America. I'm seriously not fucking kidding here, that's pretty much what happens.
Let me think about it. No!
The problem is, she doesn't actually speak, Japanese. In any way, shape, or form. Oh, this was a bad idea. That's 2 fucking stacks of shit, isn't it? Yes, yes it is. Well. That army's fucking dead. That army is just literally fucking dead. Just literally fucking dead. Just leave. Yep, just leave. And she has the same broken fucking English that pretty much all Japanese have. It's not the worst English I've ever heard. Not the absolute worst English in the history of English, but it's pretty bad. And it really, again, just makes me fucking wonder, how hard could it possibly be to just hire an American person? Absolutely fucking not. You know, how hard could it possibly be to just find an actual Japanese American and have that person play the part? How fucking hard could that be? Well, very, apparently. Very, very difficult. The army is still alive. Amazingly enough. Do I wish to risk Malagor as well and risk losing the entire campaign to save them? Not fucking really. Not fucking really. I can't Beast Path away. Because I'm pretty sure that they are like 100% guaranteed to intercept me early on. I need a thing to be able to actually evade. If I move normally, will they be able to reach me? They're in March move. I don't think so. Will they be able to reach me? I don't think so either. But I'm not sure. I could go into hidden encampment, but I think I'll be discovered, so that's not really an option either. I could recruit some units and try and beat them, but these guys can reinforce, and they will definitely be able to reach me from there, so that's not an option either. I think we're gonna try and run. We're gonna go there, because that'll be... Yeah, I don't think they'll be able to attack me from there. They will be able to reinforce, but I'm kind of hoping that they won't reach me. What I could do is I could move in this army and perhaps catch them in a Beast Path battle. Could this army beat this? I don't think so. I don't have enough melee. And I really can't recruit any. Well, I mean, the Ungor Spearmen might be able to hold them off for long enough for the archers to do damage. It'd be risky. It'd be damn fucking risky, but... maybe. But yeah. In conclusion, Godzilla. Good movie. Very good movie. So, that's been a soft introduction. That was just a movie rant. Actually, let me give you a taste of what the triggering rants would be like. Oh, he's moving down there. Good. That means he's not reinforcing the other army. Very good. He does not have range to attack me. Oh. Horde growth, I really don't want to sacrifice horde growth, but... Neither of these are very good right now. I'll take that one. I should have checked how long it fucking lasts, actually. 2 turns. Oh, that's not horrible. But yeah, let's talk about something triggering. Let's criticize the God Emperor. Let's do that. Let's criticize the God Emperor Trump a bit. So, the whole Syria thing. It would appear, from what we have heard so far, that the gas attack might have been staged. I do this manually because I want to minimize casualties as much as humanly possible. I highly suggest you go watch these videos on all of this, and the faking of footage that supposedly shows the White Helmets, an organization that supposedly helps war victims, but in reality seems to be mostly a propaganda apparatus. Just Google V. V-E-E, and you should find it. It's a very excellent series. But yes, the White Helmets. You've probably heard about them on the television. They appear to be an organization that fakes news footage about certain events, bombings in Syria, etc., trying to frame the Assad regime. Now, there is definitive proof that they are doing this. There is video evidence. There's YouTube videos. Literal YouTube videos. You can just enter just the White Helms into YouTube and, like, fake, for example, and you will see evidence that they are staging rescues. Like, there's one, for example, where you can see them bury a dude in rubble and then pretend to pull him out. You know? It's obviously staged. And there are suggestions going around that they might have staged the recent gas attacks. Now, I don't know for sure. I don't have any more information than anyone else, because the only thing that everyone knows, or, well, should knows anyways, is that there is no information. There is no evidence to suggest that there was a gas attack, and there's no definitive evidence to suggest that it was definitively staged either. It's too early to tell. Yet, the media narrative is almost entirely that it was a gas attack. In fact, while to begin with, there was at least the pretext of honesty from the media. Like, people were going like, oh, alleged gas attack. That is completely gone. In fact, they didn't even try that over here in Norway. We started immediately with, there has been a gas attack in Syria. There was absolutely no hint at any point that it might not be the God's honest truth. Which it now turns out that it might all again have been a complete setup. It might have been fabricated. And yet, the events that happened because of this most definitively were not fabricated. The God Emperor decided to bomb Syria because of this. Bomb a Syrian airbase. Now, let me preface this by saying, very simply, that I am assuming, perhaps somewhat unsurprisingly, that the President of the United States probably has more information than I do on this. So maybe this wasn't as, what should I say, as reckless? No, I wouldn't use the word reckless. Maybe this wasn't as impulsive a decision as it looked to be like, although there has also been mentions, Donald Trump's son, for example, told us that it would appear that Ivanka had enough influence on Trump to cause him to bomb. That it was essentially Ivanka that caused this strike in the first place, which is disturbing, to put it very, very mildly. But again, we can't really verify any of that. There's no real evidence suggesting it one way or the other. There's no definitive proof. But I will say that there is, of course, the rather obvious possibility, and perhaps even plausible thing, that the President of the United States knows more about this than I do. In fact, I'd say that seems very plausible, in fact. I goddamn hope he does know more about this than me. So perhaps the President was simply sitting there with evidence, you know, given to him by his various intelligence agencies, saying that, yes, Assad has chemical weapons, yes, he does plan to use them, here are the plans, and yes, we have evidence from the ground. Entirely possible. He might simply just know more than anyone else does. Very possible. I would ask why he hasn't presented said evidence, but, you know, maybe there's some kind of state secrecy stuff, you know. The, national security, blah blah blah, possibly. But, you gotta admit that it looks like Trump bombed a Syrian airfield because of what he saw on the goddamn television. And that should scare the living fucking shit out of anyone and everyone. And that is coming from someone who at least partially considers himself a bit of a Trump supporter. I'll sacrifice captives. I mean, again, I'm not really all in all pro-Trump in and of himself as a political candidate. I am vehemently anti-Hillary, however, which is why I supported him in the election. Although, again, I don't even know if supported is the entirely correct way to put it, but let's fuck it. Let's go so far as to say I outright supported him, just for the sake of the argument, yeah? It really is worrying to me that it would appear there's at the very least the appearance of impropriety in this case. You know, it might just be the appearance of impropriety. Maybe. But as I mentioned, it does appear that the President of the United States, a man that has a lot of boom at his command, to put it very bluntly. I mean, literally the entirety of the United States armory at his potential disposition, or, you know, disposal, might have been affected by a crying child on the television. That is fucking frightening. And the thing is, I can't speak to Donald Trump's character on this. I really can't, because I don't know enough about him. I don't know the guy personally. I can't really speak to whether or not this would be a thing that he would be likely to do, because I don't fucking know. I do not fucking know. But, from what I know about him, just through the media, which I take with a heavy pinch of salt, don't get me wrong, and through his own speeches, he does strike me as a somewhat impulsive individual. You know, he does strike me as someone who might do something at the spur of the moment, should we perhaps say. And he does also strike me as an individual who would put family ahead of pretty much everything else. And so, when Eric, his son, apparently suggests, at the very least suggests, that Ivanka might have had an effect upon him that might have spurred him to do this, I gotta admit, that does sound just a little bit plausible to me. I gotta say, I don't know if I believe it outright, but I definitely do think it could possibly be the case. You know, I'm not willing to dismiss it out of hand, at the very least. That is frightening, though. Do you really want to... Let me explain why. Let me explain why. Because, you know, obviously, If you trust the media, which statistically you probably don't, then that in and of itself is worrying. The fact that the media might have this much influence with a guy that controls the US military. That in and of itself is certainly a little bit worrying. But far more worrying is the fact that people that might be able to use the media might have this power. Let's assume, for the time being, that the White Helmets did this, yeah? I'm not saying they did, because I don't know. I don't have the evidence. I don't have the evidence either way. But let's for a moment assume that this was staged. Damn, I managed to intercept them all the way over there. Let's say that it was staged, yep. Let's get back to the whole thing there. If that was the case, that it was staged, it was entirely dreamed up by the media, that does seem to suggest... Is this safe? I mean, this looks... I mean, can they? I'd like for there to be an indicator. I mean, I could intercept him, but... It would mean, again, that somebody with a very, very... dodgy motives. Very, very dodgy motives. That would be doing this for very specific political and perhaps even religious, but at the very least ideological reasons. Would be doing this, and might be doing this to affect the United States. In the case of this particular the supposed sarin gas attack, it would seem reasonable to suggest that they would be Islamists. This would then suggest that Islamists could potentially fake attacks against them, blaming a government, a secular government, which, no matter what you think about Assad, it is a secular government, and frame that government as an aggressor, as the attacker, as the bad guys. And could then get that government attacked by the United States. That is frightening to me. Because what happens when secular dictators in the Middle East get deposed? The Islamists move in. That's pretty much always what fucking happens, and I doubt it's gonna change anytime goddamn soon. I really, really doubt it's gonna change anytime goddamn soon. Put that in harpies. I want to bet on the dogs. Might be a bit. Well, who's got the best weapon strength? No, I bet on harpies. Let's find one more battle before we wrap it up, shall we? Because funsies. I'm having fun with you. I hope I'm wrong, though. I hope that this is 4D chess, as some have suggested it. I hope that this is Trump basically going like, oh look, the media is essentially giving me an excuse to bomb just a very, very insignificant target. I mean, he told the Russians they were coming, which, by the way, obviously he would. No surprise he did that. He should have, obviously, to avoid escalating any confrontation with Russia. And in return, he has gained massive praise from everyone. Everyone has been on Trump's side. The thing with the American media is it's very, very, very patriotic when it comes to war. As I think they should be. I honestly think that in times of war, the media should get behind the leadership. Yeah, I know. It's not particularly liberal of me, but in times of war, I really do think that it is the media's responsibility to back up the administration and make sure that the war is won as quickly and as painlessly as possible. I do think that is their duty as, people. That is maybe a little bit authoritarian of me, but then again, I have never denied being a little bit authoritarian. But yeah, the American media definitively has that. They will definitively back up their leaders and the government in a time of war. I don't think that's really any questions. And when Trump did this, I think he knows this. In fact, I'm entirely sure that he does know about this. The media that had been attacking him and riding him fucking constantly up until that point, suddenly, everyone, and I do mean everyone, was praising the shit out of him. Everyone was just like, oh look, oh look, oh look, Trump did something. He did something decisive, something strong, something powerful. Everyone was on his side. He gained himself so much support from that action. So much support that it's kind of disturbing. I mean, think about it. What did Trump have to do to get the media on his side? He had to bomb a country. That is a little bit disturbing, isn't it? I mean, call me a bluff old traditionalist, but generally speaking, I don't like countries bombing each other, because it usually ends badly. Not to mention, this was an act of war. You can't really quibble on that. This was an act of war, and it was done without the approval of the Senate, which you're supposed to have their approval. I mean, this is something he criticized Obama for. You know, that's very hypocritical. But yeah, I'm gonna hope that this was part of the Trump plan. I'm gonna hope that this was 4D chess, and that this was a very, 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 very well overweighed decision. Like, he had planned this, he knew what the consequences were, he knew what the cause and the effect was, and that this was a well thought out move. Because the alternative, the idea that he might have done this on feelings, on crying children on the television, is frankly just... that scares the shit out of me. Like, that's the kind of shit that could drag us into World War III. And I know that's slightly hyperbolic. I know that, I understand it, but that really is the kind of shit that could drag us into a world war. Like, literally, imagine if some terrorist went to Moscow and somehow managed to doctor footage suggesting that Putin had used chemical weapons on his people for some mysterious fucking reason. Some mysterious fucking reason. Putin had just decided to goddamn bomb the Kremlin or something. I know I'm being hyperbolic here, and I'm doing so purposefully to kind of demonstrate that this is a extreme position, but that it is possible. If this had happened, and the leadership in the White House had been driven by emotions, and had been driven to act on this false information, that could potentially get us into a war. And I just, even that small, tiny, almost entirely negligible chance is really pretty scary to me. Not saying it's likely, mind you, but yeah. I don't like having leaders with access to so many bombs be really vulnerable to any kind of emotional manipulation of any sort, really. Cause scary. Cause very scary. Right, let's move over here. I'm gonna overcast Devolve. I'm gonna cast him on these guys. I'm gonna try and trigger them to just attack me with that. Actually, that's probably a bit too far forward. Move the army up a little bit more, like thereabouts. The chariots are, well, they're going to be a little bit less effective here. Maybe I don't want them on this flank. In fact, I definitely don't want them on this flank, because they can't smash through the Savage Orc Boar Boys. Yep, I'm going to move those over to the other side. I'm going to try and use the chariots to smash through the left flank. I'm going to try and smash through this, even though it's deep as fuck. Hopefully opening up a path for the Warhounds. That's going to be the general idea. Then I'm going to try and have a nice big fat powwow in the middle. which I will bypass with the harpies. Go for the archers. Do some damage while they're going in. And then just do as much damage with AoE magic as humanly possible. There we go, that triggers them. Oh, that has an AoE, does it? I wasn't aware of it. That's really cool. I like AoEs. The damage is, not bad. Not great, but not bad. Oh, if they wander unsupported into my archers, that would be perfect. They are. They fucking are. Oh, well. That's... This unit of Savage Orcs is fucking dead. This unit is fucking dead. The archers will... Yep. Look at that. Look at fucking that. Yep. Archers are good against Savage Orcs, what can I say? Let's pull you back a little bit. Come on. Finish them off. There we go, they broke. Alright, that's the shape of it, huh? Alright, good. I can probably do like half damage to another unit as well. Right, let's now... That is nothing but goddamn, nothing but goddamn fucking spears, which is not good, but hey. When is it ever good? Right. We'll have you probably heading towards middle. We'll have you fly over on the side here. It looks like they're kind of making some room on the flank there, which is nice. Make sure the archers are disengaging. Looks like they are. Good boys. Good lads. Get the Doom Bull in there. Is it? That's a Gore Bull, isn't it? Is it? God only knows. Right. Can I sneak past on the side here? I think I can. I hope I can. Let's just take a moment to make sure they're in proper position, like so. Right, now, the archers do need to get to work, because my front line is not going to be able to stand up to this for particularly long. The giant will get into the middle. Goblins will shoot at whatever's over there. Ow, ow, ow. Disengage. Right. Harpies, get in there. Good lads. Are you in combat? Yes, you are. Good boy. Get those in there. Magic, how are we doing? Let's overcast that in the middle there. A nice big fat boom. We'll throw these in to back this up. And it looks like we are indeed getting around the sides. Beautiful. Ow! Holy shit, that was a lot of damage all of a sudden. Let's get you the fuck out of there. The dogs have gotten around the flanks. Perfect. Get those into the archers then. One of the Tuskor chariots got stuck. Not great. Wait, are they breaking? That ought to hurt. Come on. Give me a nice big fat woomph. Not bad. Then devolve. Right, let's get the chariots around the side. Oh, one chariot got dead, actually. Oh, wow. That was quicker than I'd thought it would die, but there you go. The Doom Bull is doing its thing, just murdering everything, which is always nice. Damn, these things break easily. Right. Continue after those. Ow! Poor little... Ow! Poor little harpies. Huh. I get the distinct impression that harpies actually aren't particularly good. They don't appear to be particularly useful, I gotta admit, so far. Right. Well, actually, I want you over on the other side. Those guys are routing. Perfect. They are fast, though, but they appear to be pretty weak. I'm probably better off with more warhounds, honestly. Okay, let's charge into the rear of those. Damn, their morale is really, really bad, isn't it? Really, really, really bad, apparently. Well, that is good to know. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. I pretty badly need some heavier infantry, though, because these Ungors are not doing very well against these guys. Not doing very well at all. Could I could. Would I want to, though? Because, I mean, most of their army is actually still alive. No, I wouldn't. Just get back into hidden camps. I was considering chasing after them, but I think I'd die if I do that, so let's not. Let's see. Savage. I do want Savage Dominion because Spawn Sigor are good. Mantle of Gorok could be pretty damn good as well. Let's just get what's Raider Kin? Cause the damage command strong as a single command. Ooh, yes, I'll definitely take that. And let's get Evasion as well. There we go. Malagor's not a particularly good melee fighter, apparently. Oh, fucking apparently. Let's try and keep him out of melee, shall we? That would probably be a good idea. I've been sacrificing a lot right now, but that's mostly because I want the cash. I want a bunch of cash. My plan is, I'm gonna get this guy one more level, so I can get this, which is +3 experience. Then I'm gonna just pretty much just remove everyone. Just gonna disband everything. And I'm going to re-recruit Gores. I'm going to re-recruit proper goddamn Gores. And they'll be my mainstay infantry for pretty much the entire goddamn campaign, honestly. And then I'll have a nice solid amount of Warhounds. And I'll probably drop the Harpies. The Harpies didn't perform very well. The Gore Chariots did pretty well, honestly. I need to babysit them more, and they will be effective. And I'll switch out the Ungor Raiders for Ungor Poison Hunters. That's going to be the general idea. I need one more battle to get... let's give you a new name. Tiny. Much better. Tiny. There you go. Need one more battle to get Tiny up another level. And then I can start re-recruiting everything. I did lose a lot of pop. I need pop 3. I freed up 1 here so I can get something good. Bray Shamans. Or Minotaurs. I really do like Bray Shamans. They are pretty good. Lore of the Wild is good. Death is good. Beast is good. All of these are pretty good. And I could use some casters. I might just get a Ritual Mound and then I'll get a Fire Pit second. And then this army will probably go for... Centigores? I'll probably skip the Razorgords entirely, because... Well, the Razorgord Chariot is pretty goddamn good. I think it's just... Actually, does it have less hit points? 8,000 contra... It does. It's got way less hit points, but it's got armor piercing, anti-infantry, 87 armor... Yeah, it is better. I might want a Razorgord Chariot, but it's 4 contra 6... And the Razorgord themselves are pretty bad. I don't like them. They seem to take way too much damage, although they look like they've been buffed. Weapon strength 60, armor 57, 32 units. That doesn't look that bad, honestly. I know I've used them before and they turn out to be really shit, but maybe they've buffed them. Maybe. I'll get a few of those as well. I do also need a pile of flesh, but that's gonna be late game stuff. When I get proper armies. Anyways, I'll wrap it up there, finally. Until next time, I have been Arch. Thank you very much for watching, and I do hope to see you all again soon. Have a good day.